Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I'm David Moss, and yes, we're going to have some fun today because this is going to be sort of like Neil Zurcher says. It's not a one-tank trip, it's a half-tank trip. That's what it is. We're going to Paynesville. That's very close to Cleveland, but you're going to discover a whole bunch of stuff that maybe you've never seen before. County seat of Lake County, so it's an old place. Going to have some great old things, including a little antique shopping. We've got cupcake shopping for those of you looking for a couple extra calories. We're going to visit an old train depot, and how about some walking tours just to figure out a little bit more about the town. Of course, we're going to start the day off with donuts and coffee. Let's get going.
The best strawberry donuts on the face of the earth.
Who does not want to start the day with beautiful bakery? We've got some beautiful stuff here. We've got donuts over there, donuts, a little coffee, and I understand this is the stop everyone makes here in Paynesville, T&T Bakery. Mary, how long have you guys been here?
43 years.
43 years. So I see you're working the front of the store right now. So people come in this time of day, it's early. Do they go for the donuts, or are they trying to get the baked goods before somebody else gets them?
Basically, the early morning it's all for donuts and coffee. And then later in the afternoon, they'll come and get a dessert for the evening.
I also saw a little sign there, like there's a little patio. You can have your donut outside.
Yeah, we have an outside patio in the back there.
So that's pretty cool on a beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Was it your dad that started it?
Yes. My dad and his brother first started the business back in 1971.
Okay, now I understand John's not out here because he's busy doing something here. I want to show you something, if we can see this here. Check out this bread here, because somebody told me that John makes what, like 600 loaves of bread a day or something?
Yeah.
So this is the official bread of Paynesville. You got it round. What kind of bread is this up here?
It's basically an Italian bread, but a lot of people use it to make like large sub sandwiches.
That would be a large sub sandwich.
Yes.
I noticed you sell some stuff to go in the sub sandwiches too, so
yeah,
you could
we
actually
have a
make that here.
Full deli, yeah.
Okay, so if we go back there and surprise John and your brother, will they be shocked?
They probably will be.
Let's go shock them.
All right.
Okay, I'm back here now with Felix, and this is your dad, John, right?
John, yep.
So John's been doing this how many years?
This will be 45 years next year.
And he cannot be slowed down, as you can see.
He's got to keep up with the ovens.
So Felix, I got a chance to talk to your sister Mary, and you got a brother Carmen here somewhere too, right?
Right, yes.
So this is a real family affair. Boy, he just can't be stopped. What are the ladies doing back here?
That's the Italian bread that we make.
Oh, so it's all Italian bread here, right?
The biggest part is Italian bread. And we do the different ryes and the wheats and a traditional style Italian bread.
So what do they put down here first? What's that?
That's a cornmeal.
It's cornmeal?
And that way, when it's after this proofs, it'll slide into the oven. The cornmeal helps it so it doesn't stick to the board. This is my niece, Stephanie.
So it's another relative.
Another relative, right?
Hey, Stephanie, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You having fun doing this?
Oh, yeah.
What time do you get up in the morning?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock in the morning. That's pretty early. You got to get up pretty early to be a baker, right?
Got to get up early, yeah.
And you got to be strong because you got to lift the heavy bags, right?
Yeah. That's one of the downsides of the bakery. You got to get up early in the morning.
You got to get up early, but boy, it sure does smell good in here. It smells great in here. So if you head out to Paynesville, you have to stop at T&T Bakery and make sure you say hello to John here. I want to say hello to John. How are you, sir?
Pretty good.
Good. You got a beautiful business here.
Yeah.
So, nice to meet you. I love your bakery.
Yeah.
T&T. Felix, how did you get the name T&T?
Him and his brother and my mom and her sister started together, and they're Terriaco, so that's how they put T&T together.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, and I enjoy it. And don't forget, folks, you come here for breakfast, you get the donuts. Everybody comes here for the bread. They make 600 loaves a day. It's called the Bread of Paynesville.
Official
It's some
bread.
great. I saw the pizzelles out there. I saw the cakes. I saw the cupcakes. All kinds of great stuff. So check it out. Now we're going to go find out what Natalie's checking out in Paynesville.
One thing is for sure, when you come to Sidewalk Cafe here in Paynesville, you are not going to need to look at the menu because we have it here right in front of us. Just memorize what you see here. Although, Nick, I have a feeling that you have even more on your menu than what you've laid out for us today.
Yes, we ran out of table space.
Yeah,
so.
we had to stop him from bringing out more food. This is, even I am intimidated by this, and that's saying a lot, Nick, I'm telling you.
That's saying a lot.
So your breakfast is served all day. I think people need a good place that they can get breakfast food all day long.
Breakfast anytime, and lunch anytime. So some people get off work and they want giant corned beefs at 8 a.m. or they want an omelet at 4 p.m. That's what we do.
So let's dig in.
All right.
talk to me about some of these plates, because some of them I'm so excited just even looking at them. I want to start with this one because that sandwich looks phenomenal.
That's our World Burger. It's a double World Burger, all Angus beef patty, and with our fresh cut fries. We have our homemade chili here and our homemade fresh soup every day. Our country special, biscuits and gravy, bacon and eggs.
And these are hearty meals. I mean, you're giving some really nice sized portions here too.
You know,
you're Greek.
I'm Greek, so it's how we learn.
It's how you roll, right?
Right. And we have our skillet here, breakfast skillet, Western omelet, our famous Greek gyros with the fresh cut fries, giant corned beef, chicken Philly, a Greek salad with feta and grilled chicken. Our milkshakes are all made from ice cream made to order.
I gotta try one as you keep going.
And our BLT, homemade French toast, pancakes, wraps, and our traditional ham and eggs, sausage and egg breakfast. So you ready to dig in?
Yeah, that French toast looks phenomenal too. I'm a big French toast girl.
It's a big fan. That's made with the famous thick Texas toast, and everyone loves it.
How long has this place been? We're right on the corner of State and Main, right?
Correct.
So how long has this building even been here? It looks old. It reminds me.
I'm told the building's like 150 years old,
Wow.
an original Thayer's drugstore. So we've been here 12 years, going on 13, and we're excited. The city of Paynesville has been great to work with. Lake Erie College students come here on the weekends,
I see
during
some
the
jerseys
weekdays.
you have here. So you're right next to the college here too.
Yes, and some of their teams went real far this year. We were really excited, and they come in as a team. In the summertime, they are out in the patio. So it seems to all work well and come together.
You're telling me this is the kind of the hangout place. This is the place everyone in Paynesville loves to come and just gab and eat.
It is. It seems to be the spot. It's very tight here, and everyone's like family, and the locals come in that came back in the original days.
Now, for someone who hasn't been in here before, what would you say they should order? What are your big sellers?
Oh, everybody dives into the corned beef. The corned beef is the best corned beef that you can get, brought in from Chicago for us. Our cheesesteaks are brought in from Philadelphia, USDA choice. Burgers are Angus beef. So I can't, to be honest with you, I love them all. That's why I made the menu. It's everything I like. And the Greek salads are to die for. So my mom makes sure that that's exactly right.
Your mom, did she help you with some of the items on the menu then?
She didn't help. She gave me
She did
instructions.
it for you.
Yeah, I had to change things to make mom happy. You got to understand.
Oh.
If you meet my mom, you'll know. But our chili is consistent every morning. Soup's made fresh, and actually breakfast is a big hit. I mean, everyone dives into the homemade sausage gravy, and so it's been great.
You
It
gotta
really
have
has.
you gotta have a place like this where you can come to and get breakfast all day long. Little spot, very quaint, and the staff is so incredibly sweet. All the girls that work here are so kind. You hired the right people, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
Including your lovely wife.
Oh yeah, she's what keeps me and all this together. But it's been great. The locals here support us, and City of Paynesville is a great city to be in, and we really enjoyed being here. So.
Well, we're really glad you invited us, and this is another reason why I got to make the stop here in Paynesville. So much more to get to, though, in this hour-long show. We're going to have a lot to come after the break, including a little treasure hunt.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland, our special trip to Paynesville, Ohio, and I thought maybe a treasure hunt might be fun right now. You want to do a little shopping, look for some treasures? I've got a place, they've got stuff hanging from the ceilings, on the wall, on the floors. We're talking new, modern, vintage, the whole 9 yards. Check it out.
Well, Miscellaneous Barn is a complex in Paynesville, Ohio, and it's just filled with glassware, artwork, jewelry. I mean, we're named Miscellaneous because you never know what we're finding. We don't even know what we're going to have in the future until we get that next phone call. Back in, we'll say late 70s or early 80s, the originator of the Miscellaneous Barn bought this barn that you see behind me, and it was just filled with furniture, odds and ends left from Mantle Farms. And he ended up just starting a garage sale. I need to get this stuff out of my barn. Before you know it, people are coming, trading, bartering, and it just kind of turned into a business and just kind of snowballed from there. And now we're a large facility, 28,000 square foot of glassware, artwork, jewelry, you name it, we have it. I tell people take a look around, see what you can find. If you're looking for anything particular, always ask. There has been times that it doesn't even make it in the building. I sell it on the truck and we deliver it to them the next day. The White House is going to have 1940s era furniture, glassware, artwork, jewelry. There's books and linens on the 3rd floor. Whether it's costume jewelry or diamond or gold rings, we have it just out for display. The Red Barn is primarily primitive. We try to do, I have some old doors in there, nice chandeliers, some industrial, but more of the same, just glassware, artwork. So this is building 3. It's another building here on our complex, and this is where you're going to find the old and new. We've got brand new sectional sofas, brand new mattresses, brand new recliners mixed in with old vintage stuff. If you look over here to my right, there's a ton of glassware, artwork, jewelry, vintage clothing. This is just another little corner that we have in the building where you're going to find imperial glass, baccarat stemware. We've got things like Waterford stemware. We've got an old Mason gold ring, just great jewelry, other cut glass, a little bit of everything here at the Miscellaneous Barn. This old Victrola is just great. See, this is the old volume control here. If we had a time to wind it up, we can really jam out the old music here. Got this Romanian glass, hand blown Romania, hand and signed. It's just, again, online or even in a art gallery, you'd be looking to pay $300–400 for something like this, and we have it here for $75. For the most part, we're a 1/10 of the original price. So you can really save a lot of money here, especially with name brands like Henderdont, Ethan Allen, Hinkle Harris. If I think it's cool, I'm buying it because I want to have it in the store. Whether it sells in a week or a month, I don't care. Single items to full estates, say you have a retirement home and the home here is just fully furnished and you need it to go away, we go in and clear the whole house out. So when you're coming out to Miscellaneous Barn, you definitely don't want to just go into one building and walk away. You're going to make sure you see the house, the Red Barn, Building 1 and 2, and Building 3, because there's a little something for everyone in each building.
Okay, make sure you check the website before you go out there because you got all these buildings and they're all open at different times of the day. The website will give you the information you need so when you get there, you'll have some fun. Natalie?
If you're thinking about making your trip to Paynesville an overnight stay, maybe a weekend stay, this is the place to come. We are at Steele Mansion. Carol, you and your husband and really your family have restored this mansion in all its glory, and now people can come here and stay and spend the night, spend the weekend.
Absolutely. We're a small hotel, a historic inn. We have 16 guest rooms, all of them luxurious, all of them fantastic and different. I'd love to have people here. We also have party rooms for everybody to have meetings and events.
Did you see that staircase behind us, that grand staircase? When you walk into this mansion, you feel like you're brought back in time. And this was Mr. Steele's mansion, George Steele. What did he do?
Everything. He was an entrepreneur, a true entrepreneur. Shipping, railroads, refinery deals, banking, politics. James Garfield was one of his great friends. You name it, he did it, and he made money at all of it.
Well, speaking of James Garfield, let's walk into this grand space here. Speaking of James Garfield, he's just one of many familiar names that people are going
yes.
to hear that have stayed here.
Yes.
Who else?
Well, actually, one night both James Garfield and Rutherford B. Hayes stayed here on the same night. That was in 1873. Ulysses S. Grant supposedly stayed here, but I can't document a date. Amelia Earhart stayed here in 1936.
It's unbelievable when you think about it. And when you walk into this house, you think there's no way that these windows, for instance, were built the way they are. And it's gorgeous, but you really tried to make it look exactly like it looked.
As closely as we could, but you have to consider that when we got it, it was just 2 months away from the wrecking ball, and all we got was a shell of a building.
That's amazing. And then when you think about, I mean, how grand the furniture is, what did it take for you to put together the furniture? Where did you find all of this?
Everything is local. I have local sources for everything. We're a very important building for Painesville, Ohio, and I made it my goal to make sure that I got everything possible from local people.
It was at one point, the wealthiest man's house.
Absolutely. George Steele was the wealthiest and the most powerful man in town, and this was his statement house. He wanted everybody to know this was where the wealthiest man lived.
Now, can we go over to the fireplace?
Sure.
The fireplaces are something that you wanted to make sure were restored.
Oh, an incredible story here. The building had a fire in 2001, and the entire 3rd floor burned off. It left the building topless. And as the chimneys collapsed over the course of the next 10 years, they broke all of the marble fireplaces into little bits. We retrieved all of the marble that we could from the debris that was down in the basement. Miracle of miracles, we've actually rebuilt all 7 of the original fireplaces, and they're back in their original place.
And when you stay here, you walk into the bedrooms and you feel like you're royalty almost, the way you've created these bedrooms and the spaces and the bathrooms as well.
Well, that was the idea, to bring back the romance and the glamour and the glory of the 1800s, but yet to give you the amenities that we all like. We've actually got air conditioning, heating, Wi-Fi that'll go through brick walls, instantaneous hot water, you name it.
It's amazing. And you have this big grand space in the back that can be set for, do you do weddings here?
Oh, you believe
events?
We just 2 weddings just this last weekend. Yes, we do it all.
So it's not just to come and stay for yourself for the week. I mean, you can have a wedding, you can have any kind of
meeting. We've had anything from bridal showers to wakes, all kinds of business meetings. If you can think of it, we can handle it.
It is absolutely stunning. I can see why just walking through here at one time, there's 3 floors?
3 floors.
3 floors.
Plus,
you give tours.
Plus a basement, which some people call the lower level. Again, absolutely, you get wrapped up in the history and the excitement of the building.
And Carol and possibly even sometimes her grandkids will give you
yes,
tours too, right?
Absolutely.
So if you want to just come for the day and get a tour, that's also an option for you as well. But I'm telling you, once you get in here, you're probably going to want to stay and explore. Carol,
yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Jonathan Goldsmith, who was the architect of the Western Reserve, one of his homes down there was built in 1820.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. The sign says Historic District. That's right. We are in Painesville, and this is a terrific show, not too far from where I live. Yet I come here and I see all these beautiful things. This is David. David's sort of in charge of this a little bit.
I'm the executive director of the Downtown Painesville organization.
There you have it. Don't even need a card for that one, right?
Yep.
So he's the guy that's going to help me figure out some of these beautiful buildings here, because Painesville has a rich history, and that really started with some very specific and beautiful architecture.
Correct. Down here on Minter Avenue, we have 34 homes and businesses that are in the historic district. Jonathan Goldsmith, who was the architect of the Western Reserve, one of his homes down there was built in 1820. Next to that, we have the historic Fitzgerald's Irish bed and breakfast.
Okay, so I'm looking down the street there. So this architect you're talking about, he's built houses and buildings all over the Western Reserve.
Correct. And there's 8 existing now still in Paynesville.
Okay, so it says Mentor Avenue Historic District.
Correct.
So if you walk down here, how far down do you want to go down Mentor Avenue?
You probably can go about a quarter mile, half mile down. It goes all the way down to Steel Mansion, Lake Erie College.
There's a beautiful church right here. Actually, 2 churches next to each other, right?
Well, actually, that's all one church.
Wow, it's a big church.
This first Congregational church, it was built in 1862, and actually the congregation is the oldest one in Paynesville.
It's terrific. I've always loved this part of the square area. You look out here, you got the beautiful gazebo. There must be a great story about this building right here.
Well, you know, you have the apartment building, the first post office, and then the Lake County Courthouse. The Eagle weighs about 1,000 pounds, 14-foot wingspan.
That's bad when he flies over, you get a duck.
Exactly. Then there's 4 10-foot clocks, and the bells weigh about 2,500 pounds.
So if I wanted to learn all this stuff, it's not a guided tour, it's a self-guided tour.
Correct.
I go to a website then and pick up some of the information?
Right, you can go to the Paynesville City website, paynesville.com, and they have all kinds of information there.
What's really cool too is when I was walking around, almost all buildings have plaques like this that tell you the whole story.
Correct.
So you just pick a nice day, you can stand around, read the plaques, and you learn an awful lot about it.
Exactly, and we're working on now creating a historic downtown Paynesville. It's going to be a new historic district, and it's going to kind of tie everything together for us.
I've always had a lot of fun coming here because there have been some businesses here that are very creative. Like I went to a bar on the other side of the square somewhere where they actually help you make your own wine.
Your vine or mine.
Yeah, your vine
Exactly.
or mine, that's right. So a lot of really great little places and little restaurants around here, so you can take a little break from your walking tour and get a little refreshment or a little lunch or a little dinner or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite building around here?
They're all my favorite. This is my outdoor office. So I walk to work every day, and I have events in the square with other organizations. So it's a great community, and you know we have one of the most photogenic squares in the state.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. I mean, you forget about it. You know, you're a little east of me, so I don't get out here that often. So Paynesville has a great historical significance too, doesn't it, to the region?
Yes, it was, you know, it is the county seat. The Western Reserve created back in the 1800s and 1700s, so there's such deep root, you know, Thomas Harvey was Ohio school commissioner, so there's just so much. I can go on for hours and hours.
Well, I'm not going to let you because we got a whole lot more New Day Cleveland coming up and a whole lot more Paynesville to see. And that's coming up right after the break, and thank you, David.
Thank you.
Jim's Place Smoke here in Paynesville. It is not going to be hard to find. Why? You'll always remember what street it's on. What's the name of the street?
Bacon Road.
Bacon Road. How can you forget that, right? Jim, the name's Smoke, so it's obviously all about smoking your meat properly. And that's what you guys are known for.
Yes.
And this is where it all begins?
Yes, it is.
And it has its own little name I see up there too.
Yes, it does. We named it after my mother-in-law, Palma.
Palma. So it even has a name. So you got to treat it with respect that it's got a name and all, right?
Yes, it does.
So what makes it so special?
Just the smoke. It makes the meat much more tender. It picks up that smoke flavor.
All right, I'm going to have you, I'm a little nervous here because I know I'm probably going to have to get a shower when I'm done. I'm going to have you open this puppy up so we can see what's inside.
Sure.
Look at that.
And we have some of our ribs here. Here's our smoked ham. We sell a lot of these for the holidays. We do hams and turkeys. Yes, it's very good. And I have a brisket here ready to come out as well.
Now, are we going to be cutting any of this up for us to taste?
Yes.
Are we?
Yep.
I hear you also have some pretty unique items on the menu that you might not get at just a regular barbecue joint. So, I'll let you get to it. I'm going to sit down and wait for you to bring some plated up. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Got the napkin on the lap. I have the wet wipes ready to go. Let's dig in, buddy. Where can we start? The ribs look so good. I can't even handle it.
The ribs are delicious.
Now, do you use a special sauce on these?
We make our own sauce in house. We usually make it's 5 gallons a day, and on the weekends we make 10 gallons every day.
You got to be generous with the sauce, in my opinion. You know, I like when there's a lot of sauce on the meat. I got to taste this.
We go through a lot of sauce.
Those are smoked to perfection.
Thank you.
Just right, not too much. You don't want it to take over.
Right, right.
What else is on the table here?
We have, this is our big butt
As
sandwich.
I show you my hands.
It's our pulled pork.
The what? What's it called?
Our big butt sandwich.
Okay, that's what I thought
It's
you
from
said.
the smoked pork butts, the pulled pork. It has bacon and coleslaw on it. We have our rosemary fries.
Those are the fresh cut fries, huh, that you make here.
Yes, it is.
They look really good too.
Baked beans. This is our brisket, and we put those in the smoker at night along with the pork butts. They'll go in for about 12 to 13 hours, depending on the size of them. This is our brisket flatbread. It has smoked mozzarella on it, red peppers, red onions, our brisket, and then we top it with onion straws.
Last but not least.
Our pulled pork egg rolls, we sell a lot of these. It's pulled pork, coleslaw.
Gotta try one.
And then it comes with our Southwest Ranch dipping sauce.
So I know your wife
We
said
roll these every single day in the back.
every single day. How many do you go through? This must be a favorite.
You get 2 in an order, probably, I don't know, 50 a day.
Wow.
Those are good. Yeah.
That's one of the favorites here?
Yes, yes it is. For an appetizer, yeah.
So you went from being a shoe cobbler to doing this.
Yes.
Where did that transition? How did this happen?
Basically just starting out in my yard. I had a smoker at home, and we had family and friends come over, and I did a party for somebody once, and it just kind of took off from there.
All I'm saying is that I'm so glad that guy asked you as a favor for a party, because this stuff is delicious. So many reasons why you have to come out here. We are on Bacon Road.
Yep.
In Paynesville. Smoke. Come check them out. Bring the whole family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, what goes great with barbecue? I say dessert. And I promised you cupcakes. I give you Cora cupcakes.
So we bake fresh every day. All the cupcakes are made from scratch, in-house every morning. We make the frostings fresh as well, and then we make the frostings as the day goes on, and we continue to frost the cupcakes so that they're fresh all day. We never sell day-old cupcakes. They're good for 2 or 3 days. After that, they'll start to dry out just because we don't use any preservatives. We really pride ourselves on not using artificial flavors or extracts. If we're making an orange cake, we use fresh orange rind and fresh orange juice. If we're making our lemon frosting, it's always fresh lemon. What we do is we do 12 flavors every day. 10 of our 12 flavors are called everyday favorites. They don't change. So these are 2 of our everyday favorites. This is our fresh banana cake. These are going to become what we call Monkey Madness, which is a fresh banana cake, chocolate ganache, and peanut butter frosting. And then these are going to be our banana split. So that's going to be our fresh banana cake, vanilla frosting, dipped in the chocolate ganache, salted peanut sprinkles, and a cherry. So that's one of our more popular ones. We have a lot of fun flavors. We really focus on flavor combinations. We like to take other desserts or other treats and break it into cupcake form. We do a strawberry Pop-Tart that's really fun. So we take all the components of that and make that into a cupcake. We do a cannoli cupcake. We do strawberry shortcake. So we like to take other treats. We love candy bars. Always small batch. Everything's made in small batches. The cupcakes are made in these as well in the morning. So everything's made in the small batches. So what the ladies are doing over here is Michaela is rolling the cake pops. Cake pops is about a 6 or 8 step process. So what we do first, if you look over here, we actually bake a cake. We then crumble it and add frosting to it, which is what Michaela is doing, and we roll that into the cake to the cake pop base. All cake pops are developed with 4 components. You have your cake flavor, your frosting flavor, what chocolate we dip it in, and then what toppings go on there. We do about 45 different flavors of the cake pops, so those 4 components determine what flavor we're doing for the day. So Michaela is actually working on apple cider. It's one of our fall flavors, so it was special ordered by a customer. So it's an apple cider cake. I render the apple cider down myself to make it really nice and potent, like a syrup. We add that to the cake base. We also add it to the frosting, and then we're gonna dip it in white chocolate and put a cinnamon sugar over it. So those are the 4 components of the apple cider cake pop. We always explain the case first, because any of our new customers, we wanna make sure that they understand that we do 12 flavors every day, the 10 never change, our everyday favorites, and then we explain what the cupcake of the month and the baker's choice are for that day. So we explain that. Then we explain what a cake pop is, because some people still aren't sure, and we explain how we make those. We always also give a cake pop on the house to any of our new customers. So they love that to get something. The best thing is being your own boss, of course. Seeing the smiles, definitely on the kids' faces when they come in and their eyes light up when they see the case and they see the sprinkles and the cherry on the banana split. And we actually get a lot of feedback from our customers of why they're here. We get people that say, my neighbor mowed my lawn, so I wanted to give them a treat, and they thought of us. My neighbor just had surgery, or my friend is feeling down. You know, that boyfriend might come in that's in the doghouse and say, you know, all right, give me 3 red velvets, you know, I got to make up for something that I did. So we get a lot of feedback that way. So that's very satisfying to know that there's a special reason why we're being given as gifts and enjoyed. You know, the weddings, of course, also are wonderful for me to get out into the field and actually set up the displays and work with the couples. We do a free wedding tasting for all of our weddings. They get to come in and play around with flavor combinations. So just being part of that is really satisfying.
Okay, you want to shop till you drop? Coming up after the break.
And it's a great trip down memory lane because you never know what you're going to see. You're going to say, oh my gosh, my mom had that in our kitchen.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland in Paynesville, and we're having a good time. And if you like to go shopping, that's always a good time, right? We're going to take you to a place that's so big, they give you a map so you won't get lost.
Well, we're here in Paynesville, Ohio. What we do is we have 150 vendors that constantly sell stuff, bring stuff in, sell it. They all have their own little shops. It's a mall. And the idea was, I started it 12 and a half years ago, and the whole idea is that they can bring in anything to sell. We have antiques to collectibles to some new products and signs and stuff, and people just bring in all kinds of new and used things to sell and all their treasures to sell. We're the largest in the state of Ohio of our kind. So we're 47,000 square feet, we're just over an acre size. We're all indoor, climate controlled. We have a cafe. Most people come in for 2 to 3 hours when they come to shop. So that's why we have the cafe, and we're just unique. We're the only one of our kind, of our size in Ohio. After I got out of the war, the military, in the Gulf War in 1991, I had to find something to do. I couldn't find a niche in the business. I went and got a degree in biology. Didn't really suit me. So I said, I got to find a business I can run myself. My dad owned his own businesses, so I decided to start this. There was one of these similar to this, much smaller in New York, that I visited a few times. And after that, I said, you know, I think I can do that here. So I started searching for buildings, came across this 12 and a half years ago, and started it. We do have maps at the front. We give you a little golf pencil. A lot of people find stuff, they don't know if they want it yet or not. This way they can mark it on the map so we can help locate it later on. Because if you start wandering around, you kind of forget where you found something and they say, oh, it's over there. We don't know where over there is to you. So with the map, if they point it out, we can go right to it, find the item for them, make them happy. We do have walkers in the store that help you take your stuff up to the front and put it on hold for you while you continue to shop. You can carry the items, but we love to keep your hands empty so you can look at everything else in the store. And it's a great trip down memory lane because you never know what you're going to see. You're going to say, oh my gosh, my mom had that in our kitchen. My aunt had that in the den where we had Christmas every year. So it's a kind of a great stroll down memory lane. Well, we've sold carburetors, we've sold a Model T bumper, the trunk for the Model T. We have, you know, DVDs, we have gold rings, we have coins, we just have all kinds of unique stuff. Whatever you collect, we have it probably. We have 1 million items in here. We've had a Gibson guitar that sold for $1,700. That was one of the originals. We didn't know what it was, and the guy did some research and that's what it sold for. We just get all kinds of unique items because you have 153 people plus their loved ones and family members giving them stuff to sell, so stuff is coming from everywhere. Price range, we have stuff literally for $1/4 here. We have things for thousands of dollars in every budget in between. The one unique thing we do have is a furniture room that's free to my vendors. So they can bring in furniture anywhere from dining room sets, bedroom sets, couches, chairs, entertainment centers, washer dryers, refrigerators. They can bring all that stuff in. We sell it all, and it's all at great prices. they can get a booth, or I buy stuff, or we have an auction hall also now. Dempsey Auctions is a offshoot of this, and we have auctions every Thursday, so we can sign stuff into the auction for them. So every Thursday night we have live auctions. People can come in. It's free to come and entertain and watch. It only costs you if you buy something. We have stuff coming in all the time. The 150 vendors are welcome to restock during business hours, Thursday through Sunday. So some of them are working Saturday or Thursday and Friday. They come Saturday and Sunday. Other people are retired and they come in on Thursdays and Fridays. Or if they go to a sale and find something exciting, they bring it here immediately to sell it because they're so excited they found something. So things are changing literally every minute of the day.
Craft and Antique Co-op is only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so there you go. Natalie?
This is Kevin's place. Let me say, we're about to have a little bit of fun. At least I'm about to have a little bit of fun.
Hey, I'm always glad to get someone else to bottle for me, so.
He's gonna put me to work today. Before we get into bottling and everything else that you do here, I'm gonna just say, this is not what I expected from the roadway.
No, it definitely is not. It's my little, I guess a little man cave is the best way to explain it, but driving up the road, you'd never even know it's here.
I mean, you pull into the driveway and it just looks like a big garage.
Yeah, yeah, and this is where we started 2 years ago.
Really? So this is where you started everything?
Yes.
It stayed here?
We did. We built the building just to distill liquor. We started with vodka and we've moved on. We now have 5 products. So, and they're all made right here in this little place.
So what made you want to get into doing this?
Well, you know, the first time I tried to make liquor was, I was 13 years old, so.
Are you serious?
A lifelong passion, yes. It didn't work out so well.
It didn't?
No, fortunately.
So fortunately then, now you've perfected it now.
Yes, I have. I like to think so.
Well, let's get to it.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yes.
We'll see.
This is my bottling machine. This was made with about $25 worth of parts. It's my prototype, but it works so well that I never built the finished product.
Neat.
So I'm kind of a do-it-yourselfer. I built almost everything in this place. This will just take a minute. The first bottle takes a few minutes.
How does that work? That just suctions onto there?
It suctions onto there, and the suction pulls the liquid in, and it fills it to the perfect level every time.
All right, it's really going now.
Yes, it's flowing, and now I'll have to switch it over and put the next bottle on.
Oh, so you have to manually yank that off real quick? Whoa!
Comes right off. The next one goes right on.
So how many can you do in a matter of minutes?
We do about 3 a minute.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And yeah, like I say, my 11-year-old daughter usually runs this, so I think you'll be able to handle it.
All right, so what am I going to do the next one here?
Sure, you can do the next one. All you have to do is grab the bottle with one hand, kind of pinch the cork.
Pinch the cork?
You can't do it wrong because if it overfills, it just...
Is this going to spray all over me when I miss
No,
this?
no.
So should I stop now?
Yep.
Okay. That was scary.
Perfect.
All right.
There you go, and it just holds itself on.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Not bad. How'd I do?
You did great. 120 more bottles and we'll be all set.
I'll stay here for a while. All right, so can we go over there too? Because I feel like I might enjoy what you're doing over there as well. All right, let's go. So you have a really unique distilling process, I hear.
I do. I kind of pioneered a new way of distilling.
So this is what this is some of the wheat whiskey you've already distilled?
Yes, and this is, we've got a little bit here that we're going to barrel up.
What do I do, just turn it?
This is your barrel. We're going to put your name on it.
We're going to put my name on this? How far do I open it?
Open it all the way.
All right. No one ever tries to come in here and sip out of this while you're doing this, right?
Everyone would love to. Truth be told, I would love to sometimes.
So people can come in here and sample?
They can come sample what I've already bottled.
Gotcha.
But legally, I couldn't have.
Yeah, they couldn't come in here and drink out of the water fountain.
No. Although, it does look appealing. But whiskey, when it comes off the still, is clear. This is going to be an aged whiskey. We're putting it into a barrel. The barrel adds all the color and a lot of the flavor to it.
And how long will you age it?
This will age at least a year. The small barrels like this is only a 5-gallon barrel. Most of the big distilleries use 55 or 53-gallon barrels or larger. This barrel costs about the same as a 50-gallon barrel, but you can mature a whiskey a lot faster in a small barrel because you get more exposure to the wood and more oxidation from the liquor moving in and out of the wood. So it matures faster.
I've definitely learned a lot from you. So I'm going to come back in a year and I'm going to see this barrel with my name on it.
Yes, we're gonna put your name on it right now, and then we'll set this one aside, and you can definitely come back and we'll taste it right.
And it's going to be the best sweet whiskey anybody's ever tasted, right?
Definitely.
I can tell already. Thanks so much, Kevin.
That's our caboose. It was originally a B&O caboose, and this year we have rebuilt it back to its glory.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland, our trip to Paynesville, and I imagine when people came to Paynesville a long time ago, this is the first place they'd stop on their trip. Tom is the man, and this is what is this building called?
This is the Paynesville Depot.
So this is where the train stopped all the time, and when we pull up on this place, just to look at the architecture and the stonework in this thing, this is not the kind of stonework and architecture they do today, is it?
Absolutely not. This was built in 1893. It was a crown jewel at the time of the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern Railroad.
I see beautiful curves and the great woodwork and stonework and the beams. And then I can imagine if you look back to yesterday, there's probably like a trolley car to come down here.
There
right?
was. If you look down the middle of the street here, you can see where the brick is a little bit different in the middle. That was the trolley line, CP&E, Cleveland, Paynesville and Eastern Railroad that came through here.
So if we go inside, we're going to turn back the clock some more?
Absolutely.
So this is really something. I just love that. We're talking about the detail of the architecture. It's
right. This was originally in two different rooms, and there was restrooms on the front side and the train master office on the back side. And this was, and you'll love this was the men's waiting room, and the other end there with the rounded end was the women's waiting room, because back in 1893, women were not considered to be smokers, and men smoked pipes and cigars, so they had the high ceiling.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
That's good. So there's a reason for segregation of the sexes.
Yes, back then there was.
How about that? I see a model train running down there. I see a bunch of publications. So somebody comes here, do they pay to come visit you? And
right now, we're open free to the public. Donations are always appreciated.
And when are you guys open?
Right now, Friday evenings from 6 to 9 p.m. And because all volunteers.
That's excellent. So we look out here and I see train tracks. So trains come blasting by here.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. That's the CSX main line today. And yeah, we get about a train every 15 minutes going by.
I saw a bunch of your buddies hanging around in here. So there's some like train enthusiasts that they're just like bar flies, but they're train depot flies, right?
Yeah, keeps us out, keeps us sober.
I like that. So we got the model trains all around. We can see that, and I see what's the red vehicle out there?
That's our caboose. It was originally a B&O caboose. It was originally donated in year 2000 to Lubrizol. Unfortunately, in 2006, it fell victim to an arson fire, and this year we have rebuilt it back to its glory.
It's got its own little stage out there.
Yeah.
And what's a caboose? Is that where the engine, not the engineer, but one of the guys that lived back there,
Originally,
right?
It was the conductor's office. Back when they had steam engines, and you had the engineer and the fireman running the train, and then you had the conductor and the brakeman. When you got air brakes on the train, the brakemen were no longer needed because they didn't have to climb up the top of the car and put on the handbrakes.
Oh.
So they were eliminated. Eventually, when it all went to all diesels, you didn't need a fireman anymore because there was no coal to shovel.
Right.
So the fireman was then, gotten rid of, and they added the conductor up to there. At that
Tom,
point,
you know all your stuff.
Yeah. Then back then they eliminated that, so the conductor moved forward. In fact, we have.
Who chased the bums off the train?
Yeah, it was a conductor.
Okay. So I can see now when I come out here to visit you, I'm going to spend a little time. I'm going to hear some good stories. It's the Paynesville Railroad Museum.
Correct.
And you're open on Friday nights from 6 to 9. It's
Correct.
all volunteers. Come out and see these guys. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you're welcome.
Look at that. You get a little history, a little food, fun, and shopping, and that's Paynesville for you on New Day Cleveland. I had a great time here. Remember, it's just a half-tank trip away from Cleveland, right off of Route 2. Take the Paynesville exit, and you're here, and I assure you, you'll have a great time. I did. I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland. I'm David Moss.